Hey, hello everyone. So welcome back. We finished our introduction to agribusiness, right? We finished our introduction to management. Before I start the chapter 3, actually this chapter is the managerial role and the skill. We have somehow discussed our called a basic management model. Let me grab that out to have a big picture of our, let's say, journey, all right? But this one is actually the model that we are following. So actually, where are we? Somewhere here. First, we needed to understand the managerial roles, managerial knowledge, and skill. After taking this class, and then you start to develop your managerial skill, or you have, let's say, partially developed a skill, and then you needed to practice. If you don't get the chance yet, you observe your managers or others practice, and then you learn from them. You were on this, let's say that in the position what you would. All right, you make yourself ready, and then you start to really practice. So my idea, remember that I keep saying that I assume quickly you will be a first-line manager. Well, this class will help you to get to the next step, right? The middle manager. This is chapter 3 is about this role awareness skill. Also, I moved to chapter 11. Chapter 11 is the decision-making, problem solving, because this is also our role, our responsibility, right? Keep this diagram in mind. We can go through that smoothly. In chapter 3, first, the challenge of management. The last chapter, we have talked about the management. We defined the management, have introduced this management series, the classical school, the behavioral school, the quantitative school, and then the contemporary management theory. Usually I call this open system, but we will put them together and then introduce you. The challenge, a lot. The textbook only summarized a little bit. Okay, so I just follow this outline and then trying to share with my understanding. The challenge comes from internal, from your boss, from your peer, from subordinate. And then the challenge also comes from outside, the environment, the market, competitor, supplier, okay, customer. This also probably from government, right? You understand the regulation, this kind. Here we talk about this, we call it like global competition, pro and cons. So if you are like, you're living in this country for many years, you never travel to other countries, all right? Probably it is your weakness. You don't know other cultures, okay? You don't know how other people, they live. Also, I think this can be good thing. If your company open the international or global business, that means we have the business overseas. If you are a manager, you get the chance to work abroad. It's an opportunity you can increase your level, right? Increase your, let's say, position, get promoted, work overseas. The second, you accumulate this overseas, let's say, experience. Third, money. In my previous company, we call them expatriates. Expatriates, they earn salary, wage, but they also have a, big compensation. I just briefly tell you, like, okay, so not only inside within the organization, but outside, like we will have a chance to talk about the outsource. Okay, outsource means that your company wants to reduce the cost. They will move or they will hire some, supplier or some other company to fulfill one of the functions. And the other challenges, we talk about the quality requirement. I intentionally skip this TQM, total quality management. It is management for sure, but it's another branch. We call it the quality management. Okay, if I really started the TQM, I need to also talk about, TQM is one of those quality management theory, right? Concepts. Also, I needed to talk about the Six Sigma. And then if I talk about the Six Sigma, I need also to talk about the Kaizen. It's a Japanese, okay? It says keep improving, all right? Keep, let's say, quality improvement. Okay, now let's keep talking about the general management. One of the major, let's say that the focus or the main focus of the management is about the efficiency, effectiveness, right? Here we talk about productivity. Why we need to increase the productivity? We compete. We want to maximize the profit. Productivity means cost reduction, right? If we can reduce costs, assume we have the sales, the turnover, the sales fixed, unchanged. Reduce cost means make more money. It makes sense, right? And then the challenges can come from the other risk, uncertainty. This risk we talk about, we have mentioned about agribusiness, right? Agribusiness, you think about agriculture production, the environment, the climate change, whether the environmental, enough raining, right? So, but also don't forget the price. Price also fluctuated. At this moment, I assume you understand the inflation, and then you understand the energy price. You understand the gas price. I think my students know that I already warned you guys a long time ago. Call this risk, right? We did predict that. So this is the risk management. Also, we have the way to hedge or manage the risk, but you need to know how. So we have a lot of challenges. Those challenges connected to other topic or other branch. So risk management can be another topic. Start from here, you can find your interests, right? Which direction you go. Okay, this is why I always say that I open the door for you. Now it's the time that I think I have talked too much, and this is a follow-up of our management theory. But as a manager, we needed to put them together. That's why we introduce you this so-called integrative framework or management framework, application of different management models. Let me remind you, all right? Let me remind you, because we talk about the classic scientific management model. We focus on the process. We improve the process, train the employee, increase their productivity. And then we have the so-called administrative management. This belongs to the classical, right? The classical school. Remember that? And then we have talked about the behavioral school, human relation, human resource approach. We have mentioned about the Maslow's hierarchical, hierarchy of needs. We talk about McGregor's theory X, theory Y. Remember that? This is the behavioral school. We started to focus on the people. Okay, and then we talk about the system model or system theory, but I like to call this open system model or open system theory, connected to the environment, input from the environment, output to the environment. Your company, your organization receive the feedback from the outside. You might ask, hey, Shumi, don't forget that we have another, we call it the quantitative tool, right? More like mathematics, statistics, okay? So those are like the two, in my opinion, like the information system. Remember the management information system? Those are the two. This framework is important. Let me go to the next slide to see whether it tells us something. I would focus on, we call this human resource model, focus on the people. The classical school of thoughts, management theory, they focus on the process, they focus on the things, productivity. So this is why they call, this is what we call the vertical on top. We are trying to focus mainly on people. It called the flexibility emphasis. But for me, it is more like a motivator people to invent, innovate, all right, find the new things. This is the different thing, all right, the different, let's say, spectrum, right? So one is called the flexibility, one is called the efficiency, or the beneath, you can call this productivity. Also, the horizontal line, from the horizontal line, you will see it calls like internal focus, right? Inside your organization. This is more connect to the outside. If we talk about the scientific management, whether there are new technology we can use from outside, whether we have new ideas, all right? New customer demand. Try to get the feedback from the environment. This is the open system. We open our system. This is not a closed system. It's an open system. All right. I don't read those, let's say that those points for you, but I try to, make sure that you understand. Again, this is one of the signals, right? So the scientific model, the administrative, models, those are more focused on the things. This is more focused on the efficiency to increase the productivity. This is the flexibility emphasis, right? We want the new things, invention, innovation, try to motivate the people to get the, let's say, find the new opportunities to explore the market. Every time when I start in my class, I like to say, hey, check, Elon Musk, what he is doing right now. It will give you some idea. Why integrative model? As the manager, we should not stick with one model or one theory. We needed to put them together. All right. We put this into our toolbox. My company is working on productivity, efficiency, and then what I needed to focus. Now my company is trying to, encourage some, new technology, new ideas, and then how we can motivate the people. When we talk about motivation, most of people will think of money. But the money is not the only thing, or money cannot always, all right, motivate the people. As I said, effective manager use all of those models. But in my opinion, you just have this integrative, framework, and then you understand almost everything. Internal, external, efficiency, flexibility, all right? Focus on the process, focus on the job, or focus on people.